Hi there. Welcome to Sunday School. Raise your hand if you've ever had an argument with somebody, like a friend or your parents or your brothers or sisters. See my hand up? Yeah. I remember when I was young and my family belonged to a book club where we got a new book every month in the mail. And they were books that were for my brothers and for me, for us, for kids. And every time that they came, we all three of us wanted to be the first one to get to read the book. So every month when the book came, we argued about who it was that got to read the book first. I always wanted to be the first one, but so did my brothers. Well, every month, because we argued, my mom would take the book and she'd put it away and she would say, "You can have this book back when the three of you decide on an order of who's going to get to read it first, and who's going to be second, and who's going to be third." And of course, we were all mad about not being able to just read it, but we also knew that my mother was totally serious, and so we had to work something out. Well, sometimes the decisions that we made, like thinking we were going to be able to sort of work our way around that a little bit, were not very good ones. I remember one time when I decided that I would just go and get the book that my mom had put away. And I would sneak it and I would read it at night after bedtime. Well, my mom found that out and she took the book away from me. And I didn't get to read it until after both of my brothers had read it, and my mother had read it, and my father had read it. So that wasn't a very good decision, was it? And then there was another time, like when both my brothers wanted to read it at the same time, and my older brother had the book, and my younger brother grabbed it to try to take it away from him, and it tore a page out of the book. That was terrible. All of us cried because the page had been torn from the book. Well, my dad could tape the book back together again, but it always had that torn page and it always made us sad. So that was another time when it wasn't a good decision, was it? So do you remember when you've argued with somebody and how you felt when you were arguing? Did you feel like crying maybe because you were really frustrated? Did you feel like hitting the other person that you were arguing with? Did you just maybe wish that the other person would understand why you felt so hurt and why you felt so frustrated? Well, it's natural to argue. God created us with feelings and opinions and experiences and differences, and we don't always agree with everyone else. And the hardest thing about having an argument is finding a solution. I have some friends I brought with me today. Meet my friend Daisy the dog and Fido the fish. Daisy and Fido have been trying to decide what kind of game they should play. Let's listen to them discuss their ideas. "Hi, Fido. Let's play today." "Good idea, Daisy. I like to play." "Let's play fetch." "I love to play fetch." "I don't like to play fetch. It's boring." "Fetch isn't boring. It's super fun." "No, it's not." "Yes, it is." "No, it's not. If you won't play fetch, then I won't play with you. And I won't play with you either." Daisy and Fido both wanted to play, but they couldn't agree about playing fetch. Neither one would talk about playing other games that they could play. They just got mad at each other and they stomped away, and now they won't play. That doesn't sound like fun at all, does it? How do you think they could find a better solution? Let's think about this. Daisy loves to play fetch. Fido hurt Daisy's feelings because he said that playing fetch was boring, something that Daisy really, really enjoyed doing. And he didn't suggest anything else. And neither one of them was willing to talk about it anymore. Instead, they just left angry. What do you think would have happened if Daisy and Fido had been a little more respectful and sensitive to each other's feelings and differences? Let's try this again. Hi, Fido. Let's play today. Good idea, Daisy. I love to play. Let's play fetch. I love to play fetch. Oh. Fetch is hard for me, Daisy. My mouth is too small to grab a stick or a ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, what would you like to play? We could go swimming. I love to swim. I like to swim too, but I'm not as good at it as you are, and I can't go very far from shore. Oh, that's okay. We can swim close to shore, and I'll help you learn to be a better swimmer. Good idea. Let's go have some fun. This worked out much better, didn't it? When Daisy suggested playing fetch, Fido didn't say it was boring. He told her why it was hard for him. Fido's honesty helped Daisy understand that fetch wasn't a good game for Fido to play, even though Daisy probably has lots of other friends who really do enjoy playing fetch. And then when Fido suggested swimming, Daisy made sure to tell him that she would need to stay close to shore because she wasn't as good a swimmer as Fido. By being honest and listening to each other, these two very different friends had a very fun day. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, my brothers and I finally did figure out a way to decide who could read those books first. We shook dice. And whoever rolled the highest number got to read the book first, and who had the next highest got to read it second, and who had the lowest number got to read it last. Pretty good solution. Sometimes we were really disappointed when we didn't get the highest number. But we knew that it was a fair way to decide, and we did, after all get to read the books, and we didn't have to argue about it anymore. Our Bible story today is actually pretty short. It's from the Old Testament book of Isaiah. It's chapter 2, just verses 1 through 5. And it's a prophecy. It's a prediction of something that will happen in the future. And this was the way that it was told by the prophet Isaiah. There was a little bit in the first couple of paragraphs that told us a little bit about the history. And then, starting with verse number 4, Isaiah said, God shall judge between the nations and shall decide disputes for many peoples. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, and neither shall they learn war any more. Verse 5 says, O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. So this is the way that Isaiah said it can be a way to solve arguments and we won't have wars anymore. These verses tell us that someday God will show his people how to live in peace. People will go to God and learn how to be good and wise. And God will settle arguments between countries, and there won't be any more wars. And then people will be able to recycle their weapons, like their swords and their spears, turning them into tools and machines, like plowshares and pruning hooks, for tending their crops and living in peace. For our Bible memory verse today, we're going to use just part of verse 4 to help us remember the good solutions to disagreements. It goes like this. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. That's Isaiah chapter 5, verse 4. Let's say it again together. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Isaiah 5, verse 4. Good job. Let's close our lesson today again with the Lord's Prayer to remind us that God helps us solve arguments and conflicts. Say it with me if you know the words. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Thanks for joining us today. May God keep you safe until we meet again.
Hi guys, it's time for another craft. This time we're learning about Isaiah and peace. And so I thought it would be fun if we made a wreath out of your hands or your feet or both with a paper plate, some construction paper, a glue stick or a glue bottle, whatever you got, maybe even tape, a marker, and a scissors. And you want to trace your hands and your feet and cut them out and place them on the paper plate in a circle. And you're going to write things that you can do to show your siblings or your parents or somebody love and peace. Like, you can show them love. You can show them forgiveness. You can show them how to do things, like teaching them. And then you're going to glue them around the paper plate in a circle, and in the middle, if you want to, as they've done here, you can do fingerprints with paint or draw them with markers, or you don't have to do anything in there at all. It's up to you. And that will be your craft for this Sunday. Thank you. Have a good day.